All right. So good evening once again. Welcome to Digitech Zeal. This is cyber security session. We are still on Windows Security Plus, where we started looking at some of the powerful inbuilt security tools within our Microsoft Windows that a cyber security professional can leverage on to ensure that the system is secure from attack. So we stop at BitLocker drive encryption. And I remember in that class, I have to partition a drive, which was like an extension of that topic, because I only wanted us to understand that at times you can be employed and be given a system where all the sensitive information and the general information are stored in the same place. And I said that is not healthy, because it means that everybody have access to both the general information and the sensitive information. So what a professional cybersecurity is expected to do in that kind of scenario is to partition that current drive, because partition or partitioning allows us to push all the content to one side and end up creating an empty space separated where we can carve out a backup. Remember, we mentioned backup as one of the cyber or the Windows security, right? It's part of it. I remember we mentioned backup. So your ability to back up important information matters a lot when an attack happens. Remember, we spoke about the ransomware, which is an art where some bad individual will grab, company or individual important information and then encrypt them with a format that you as the owner may not be able to decode, and then they will ask for money before they can decrypt them. So since I'm not working with that system, I'm thinking whether I should just partition the entire drive. I should just because it is not actually advisable that you partition the entire local drive like this. The implication is that it means that every single person that will use this system will have access to the key. So which means that the system is no longer secure. And that is why we looked at how to partition space out of the available space to enable us BitLock. So I don't think there's any way that I'll be able to do it without, taking some space. So it's not going to take time. Let me quickly run through it. So the first thing I'm going to do before we focus on the BitLocker tonight, because that is the only topic that I know that we'll be able to cover, except if we are fast enough, but it's enough to be a topic because it's a serious or is an important aspect of cybersecurity. Now we have an internal drive which is 500 gig, and as you can see, the drive is being analyzed. We have this shaded portion representing the use part, and then we have the whole of this part representing the free space. So which means I have enough space to carve out as a space that is going to act as a backup or that will be used to store the company's sensitive or important information, thereafter BitLocking it. So I told us that to create a backup or to partition a drive, you press Window key. I'm talking about this icon on your keyboard. You hold it down and press letter X, that's X, and then you will be prompted this environment. So you go to disk management. Remember, this was a step that we follow. So from disk management, we'll be able to get the analysis of the available drive and their sectors. So let's wait for it to come. So this system is a bit slow. Just that I have some issue with the other one, which is yet to be rectified. So let me see if I can. Let's give it some time. So just bear with me, because I actually wanted to cancel the class because that system is not available. But let's just be so that we can see. Just want some level of consistency. Okay, so so this is going to analyze the available drive, and then from there we will know, we should be able to identify the particular one we want to carve space from. This is going to actually take our time. Maybe I will switch to the next topic. Maybe the next class, I should be able to go back to BitLocker, because since it's still opening, let me still give it some time. Okay, so we have it now. Now you can see that from this disk management interface, is analyzing the number of drives that are available. Some of them, they are not visible within the Microsoft window, but we have their segment here, just like as you can see here. So we all know that disks are represented with alphabet. So that is one thing you should be able to know. Knowing that letter A represents floppy disks, and then letter B also represents another type of floppy disk. So letter C usually represents drive C, or which is the local drive where you have all your applications installed. So now it means this is the local drive, drive C, and you can see its section here. So this is drive C. So once we are able to identify the particular drive we want to partition, so like I told us, we are going to shrink it. That's the first thing. And to do that, you right click on that section. You right click on that section, and then you select what? Shrink volume. So the first thing is for us to what? To compress it. So that's shrinking. We allow the system to push all the file to one place and create an empty space, out of which we are going to take out some space as a backup. So I'll click on what? Shrink volume, which takes some time. So what is happening right now is analyzing the space. At the end of the day, we are going to be prompted some information that will tell us the space that we are allowed to what? To take out. I hope you can still hear me and you are also following.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I actually wanted to switch to another topic because I know that this process is very heavy. The system might not be able to carry it fast for us, but let's just see. It might just do it.
Hello, sir, please. Can we go back small? That shrink, then the side, you say
I
total
I
size before shrink and the
I cannot stop this process now because there's a way I will
okay,
click
okay, okay,
now.
okay,
It
okay.
will just shut down the system. So, but just to explain what I did, I right click. I first of all identify the drive that I want to take space from by with the letter C, and then I right click on that section, and then there was a drop down. From there I picked string volume, and I said what we are doing is we are querying the drive in order to tell us whether we have enough space to take out or not. So that is what is happening now. You can see querying volume for available string space. So please, we have to wait. Okay, so as you can see, so this is the outcome telling us that the total size before the compression is this. Size of available string space is this. And then out of this, do you want to partition? Do you want to take the entire space available, or you just want to take some space? So I can say, okay, I don't want to take up to 300 plus space. So I just want, let's say, I just want 20. Make sure it's in thousand, 20,000, and then you click string. I hope, Joshua, you are getting it now.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, so as you can see, there's something I drew our attention to the other time. You will notice that this section has a kind of a black color, which this one is blue. So that is how you know allocated and unallocated storage. So what it's simply saying is that if I go to the drive view now, you can see that that partition is not showing yet, which means the space has been created, but it has not been allocated to the window to use. So that is why the next step is for you to right click again. This time around, you are going to select new simple volume. So this step is like you are formatting it now, just like the way we normally format our drive. So the first step was to create the space, and the second step is to what? To initialize it, to commit it to the window for usage. So you have this wizard prompted, and then you click. So this is just try to tell you, okay, you have this space, and the minimum space you can use. Eventually you want to reduce it, that you cannot reduce it beyond it. And then the simple volume, you can go ahead with this. Then the next one is where you have to choose the letter that will represent the drive. That is, whenever you are using the system, just like the way we have C representing this, we have D representing the what will be representing that drive, that partition. So I can say, okay, letter E, or you have other letters you can pick from. But let's go with letter E. Let's go with letter E. Let's go with letter E. So now we click. Now remember I talked about the two formats that Drive uses to manage their content, which means the file. Is either what the FAT, which means file allocation table, or the NTFS, which means what? New technology file system. Remember, I explained all this to all the other time, and I said in our current dispensation, we have advanced ahead of what? We have advanced from FATS 32 to what? NTFS. So drive that are using this format to manage their content, they are always faster. Then the name of that drive, this can actually be done after you are done with the entire configuration, but it's better you can also do it here. You can say, okay, this is going to be represented as what? Backup. So this is a way of you giving it a name, and then you click, and then you get the summary of everything you have done. So now the next step is for the process to complete. So you also hold on, and once it's showing this color, you can see that it means that space has been allocated. So if you come back here, once it's completed, it's still analyzing, still querying, we are expected to see the backup here. So let's go there and wait for the process to complete. So let's hold on. Okay, I think it's coming up now. It's formatting. So like I was saying the other time, this is actually a service that you can render and get paid for, right? So you can say that you create system backup for client. So which means somebody who do not want to go through formatting, because what we did now, for somebody who do not know it, what they are going to do is to recommend that the system backup cannot be created. If instead the person will be asked to go and buy external hard drive or a flash drive, but you have saved the person from that. So which means that all the files saved here, peradventure the system corrupt tomorrow, the operating system, this is the only sector that will be affected. And once you reinstall the window, then you can always access the backup. So it's part of security, part of Windows security system. I hope that is clear so that we can go into the BitLocking aspect now. If you have any questions, so that settles everything about partitioning. We are good, right? Let me get to respond. Are we good?
Yeah, we are good.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's look at the BitLocker properly now. What is BitLocker? What is BitLocker? BitLocker, by definition, is a window security feature. It's a window security feature. Let me see if I can write it. Well, I think because of time, let me just dictate. Let me see. I don't know if I can write fast. So I said, okay, I should dictate, right? Okay, good. Thank you, because we have to save time. Okay, so I said BitLocker is a Windows security feature that encrypts. That is the keyword, that encrypts. I remember I have once explained to us the meaning of what encryption in cybersecurity. When the term encrypts or decrypt is used, what does that mean? To encrypt means what? To lock. In a simple term, to lock, right? So just like to lock, just like the padlock, to encrypt your entire hard drive to protect data from unauthorized access. That is the key reason why you should BitLock your drive. So you can see the wisdom we apply now. What is the wisdom? Let's say you come in as a cybersecurity professional and you are given the whole of this entire drive to BitLock. So the wisdom we apply here now is that we want every other person to access those general information here. But those files that the company wants me and you to secure, that even some staff within the organization do not have access to, I am going to move them away from here and put them in here, then unlock it up and give the password to only the individuals that have the privilege. So what have you done now is what we call security measure. So others can be using the system, but they don't have access to what is in this particular drive. So let's assume that a black hat hacker hack this system. He or she will not be able to what? To access the file here, but he can access what? All this file. So you can see why BitLocker is very important. And like I said before, it is a new technology that was introduced from Windows 10 Pro. If you are running Windows 8, Windows 7, you are not expected to what? To have access to this particular feature called BitLocker. So just to conclude that definition, I say what? Unauthorized access. If this device is lost or stolen, you can see, just for you to understand how strong the security of this is. Even if somebody steals this computer now, and remove the hard drive with the intention of they can put it in external a hard drive case and then have access to the file. The moment they connect it and they try to access it, it's going to ask for the password. That is how strong it is. All right, so let's quickly look at the steps on how to configure it, which is our responsibility. These are the things we should know how to do. So after partitioning and we want to BitLock, how do we go about it? So the first thing is that we are going to open up our control panel. We are going to open up our control panel. All right, so how do we get to the control panel? You can actually click on this the start button, or you can even search it out here by saying once we type control panel, that's supposed to pop it up. So you click on the control panel. Okay, so from the control panel, so we are going to come here. I want to attend to message. Okay, so from control panel, we are going to go to security and system, or system security. Now there's something that I want to show us here. You see, your control panel is like the back end of the window, just like the way you have the BIOS as the back end of the system. So which means that we should always approach this particular interface with understanding, knowing that you can tamper with things here and the entire or some part of your system can be affected, right? So whatever it is that you do not understand how it functions, whenever you are here, be careful the way you tamper with it, right? So peradventure you want to do a kind of trial by error, always take note of what you met there, so that in case you make any changes, you can always return it. So now we are here, we can summarize or view the content of the control panel using category, or using large icon, or using small icon. So which means that this is the category, which means under system and security, a lot of things are grouped under it. Under user account, a lot of things are grouped under it. So we are going to exploit this option, system and what? Security. So click on it. So under system and security, like I said, then we are going to look for what I selected. I think is, let me go back. So I'm supposed to click here. Clicking here is different from when you click here. It's different from when you click here. So take note of that. So this is where we are going. So from here, we are supposed to see the command, which is what? BitLocker drive. BitLocker drive. So manage BitLocker. So if you click here, that is going to take us to another environment. I hope you are following. Let me get a response. I hope you are following. Are we following? Mr. Chris and Joshua, I hope you are still following. I hope you can still hear me. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. So now you can see that if you follow this channel coming to the control panel, if you follow this channel, you will notice that we are not privileged to see Okay, good. I think we are having it here. So let me take it up. So this is a list of the drive available. So this is the backup we created. So which one do you want to BitLock? So you tap it, and when you tap it, it will show you this. The reason why I want somebody to unmute and tell me the reason why this icon is attached to this drive icon and is not attached to this. Somebody should unmute and tell me. I just want to know whether you know the reason why this icon is attached to this drive and it is not attached to this drive. What is the reason?
Come again.
Look at the drive symbol here. This is a drive, this is a drive. But this particular drive has this icon, this window icon, but this one does not have it. So I want to know whether you understand what is happening here.
I believe like you explained, you said if an hacker hacked into the system, he can easily access that one because it's still around the window. But this other one is no longer in the window, to my own thinking, so it cannot be accessed by hacker. I don't know.
Okay. Chris, can you try if you are here with us? Chris, can you tell us why this particular drive icon carries this icon and this one does not have it? Okay, so I guess Chris is not here at the moment. So let me just explain to us. Look at the section description, operating system drive. It means that, because I want you to understand this so I don't go and manage them wrongly. This is where you have your operating system, this particular one here. This is a window icon. Now this one is a backup, right? Now, but it's track under fixed data drive, which means the drive is inside. It's not like your flash drive. If you connect flash drive to be under what? Removable, right? So now you can see the BitLocker attached to each of the drive. So which of them do you want to BitLock? You click on turn on BitLock on that very one. Okay, so you give it some time to query the drive to know if it is possible. Now, this is what you get. So you can see the key sign is already what? Indicating, telling you that once you are done with this process, all right, you are going to have this icon key attached to it. Now, choose how you want to unlock this drive after locking it. How will you unlock it? Now look at it. We have two options here. So pay good attention here. The first option says use a password to unlock the drive. The second one says what? Use my smart card to unlock the drive. If you travel to some country, right, they have card. There's a smart card, just like an electronic card that you can use, just like, how do I put it, the security card. So we are going to go with this one. Once I click here, these two password text boxes will be opened. So remember the password you are using. Make sure you write it down before imputing it, because if you forget, you are on your own. So I want us to write down the password together, so you can help me over there. So the password is Eloho. Let's say, please help me write it down. Eloho. Okay, let me just say Eloho. And then the same thing, Eloho. And then I'll click on next. Now it's saying the password provided is what? Does not meet the requirements, which means the password is very weak. So I would have loved to write this thing down because I would like to use it. Okay, let me just type it. Sorry, I will not pronounce it. So I hope they accept this. I think they should go. Okay. So now the next step is, how do you want to back up your recovery key? So alternatively, outside the password is going to give us what? A key. And that key, professionally, we are advised to save it outside the system. So which means that even if that drive is taken to any system, you connect the USB stick, that's the USB flash drive, it will be able to, from there, use the key to unlock it. So that is a kind of a backup. So some settings are managed by your system administrator. If you forget your password or lose your smart card, you can use the recovering key to access your drive. Now, we have the option. Let's say you have a Microsoft account with your Gmail, like cloud storage. You can decide to say, okay, you want to dump, you want to store it there. Then we have save to USB flash, which is the best practice. If you are working for an organization, please let them purchase a flash drive dedicated for storing only this key. Not that they will store other file there for security reason, and that flash drive should be kept very well, because that will be the only means, if you forget your other password, to break into this drive. Then save to file. So I can say, okay, save to file, since I don't have Microsoft account. Or you want to print the recovery key. So let me click on what? Save to file. Now, if you are saving to file, it shouldn't be inside that particular drive that you are partitioning. It's just like you saying that you want to lock your door. Normally, if somebody wants to lock the door from the outside, it's expected that the person is outside the house, not being inside. Then you lock it from the outside. So which means that any folder I am going to choose as where I'm going to store this recovery key should not be within that partition. It should be somewhere else, so that when we misplace it, we can from there consult it. So let me check for the drive. So I'll click here and check for the drive. So let's say I'm going inside the drive C and save it somewhere within the drive C, right? So let's say within the drive C, let me quickly create a folder within the drive C and see if we can save it there. I hope we are still here. So let's just say password. Let's just say password. So I am saving it inside here, and then it's asking me the file format. So I'll go with that, and then I'll click on what? Save. So once that is accepted, then I can now click on what? Next, to proceed. So which means that the primary key has been saved. All right. So in case I forget my password, I can go there and use it. Now the next stage is saying, choose how much of your drive you want to encrypt. This is also very, very important. All right. Because if you encrypt it wrongly, don't be surprised that hackers can still break into it and cut away some file, just because you did not password or encrypt the entire space. So let's read and see what happened here. It says, if you are setting BitLocker on a new drive or new PC, you only need to encrypt the parts of the drive that is currently being used. BitLocker encrypts new data automatically as you add it. Now it says, if you are enabling BitLocker on PC or drive that already in use, consider encrypting the entire drive. Encrypting the entire drive ensure that all the data is protected, even data that you deleted, but that might still contain retrievable information. So this information is very self-explanatory. So what is simply saying that, like this particular drive now, it's a new one. We have not started saving file. So admin is that local drive, that drive C that you are partitioning at the moment. What it's saying is that, you have some space that has been used and you have the empty space. So you can decide to say, okay, limit the encryption to only the portion of that drive that has been used. So what now happens if you save any other information after the encryption? Those one will no longer be captured. They will be outside the section that was encrypted. I hope someone is following this explanation. Can I get a response, please? I want to be sure that you are following.
Yes.
Okay, so that is what it's saying. So you need to understand this so that you will not encrypt and then tomorrow you get to know that something has happened to some file just because you did not select the right option. Now look at the two options presented based on this information. The first one says encrypt used disk space only, faster and best for new PC and drives, because at that point you have not saved anything. So definitely the whole space will be allowed to be encrypted. Now look at this one, says encrypt the entire drive, slower but best for PC and drive already in use. So I am going to go with this option and then select this. So the next phase says choose which encryption mode to use. Now look at what it says. Windows 10 version this introduce a new disk encryption STS. This mode provides additional integrity support, but it is not compatible with all older versions of Windows. I've explained that before. So if this is a removable drive, that's flash drive that you are BitLock, you can BitLock your flash drive so that even when it is stolen, nobody can use it without entering the password, right? So that you are going to use on older version, whatever. So if this is a fixed disk, or if this drive will only be used on devices running at least Windows 10 version and above or later, that is Windows 11 and the rest. So let's look at the option provided. The first one says new encryption mode best for fixed drive. Remember before we started BitLocking, we met this particular backup under fixed drive. So we have already know where it falls into. So it falls into what? Fixed drive on this device. Then we have compatible mode, best for what? Moved from this. So let's go with this, and then I'll click what? Next. So we are almost there. Are you ready to encrypt now? So at this point, before you click on start encrypting, you must have make sure that you remember your password. You have your recovery key backup somewhere, so that in case you forget the password, you cannot copy and paste you can use the recovery key as an option to gain access. So I'm good to go. So I'll start my encrypting. So perfect. So you can see that you can remove password. You can see that key is now attached. So if I go to the drive now, drive view, you will now see that the appearance of that drive will have changed. You can see that there is now a padlock attached to it, but currently is open. Why is it open? Because we are already in the house. If you shut down this system and reboot it, you will come back and make this close. And then that is when that password will now be required. So this is where we come to an end of BitLocker and partitioning. So if you have any question, you ask. You have question? Or is anybody doing it alongside there? I wanted to know whether you are also doing it as I was doing it.
It's quite
I did it, but like I made one small mistake because talk about recovering this thing. It's like I didn't like I didn't observe that recovery phrase. I really called it.
And you have already gone past that stage.
That part, but I did the password.
Okay. Well, you did the password, so just make sure that you have the password, because which means that you don't have a backup. If you lose the password, it means you don't have a backup to log in. That is the only thing that could happen. All right. So, well, in as much you can remember the password, there is no alarm. There's no alarm. So you can see what we did now. If a company calls you that, okay, as a cybersecurity expert, come and create a backup and encrypt it. You charge because you have saved it. Some people have terabytes that their operation would never consume. But somebody who do not know this will tell them to go and buy backup of about maybe 100,000 or 50,000. Well, you can tell the person that, okay, I'm going to create a backup for you and I'm going to secure it as an expert. So, but remember that the reason why we are learning this, these have technicians aspects, and these have the security aspect. The technicians aspect, they are doing it for, just to create space for storing file. But we are doing it as cybersecurity professionals. We are doing it to secure. Our intention is that we have two categories of file in a system that we are employed to ensure its security. Without being told, we should know that we cannot risk all the file unsecured. So it is within your professionalism, your discretion. You now come and say, okay, I want to create a secure sector and move all the sensitive information into that section, and then give the password probably to the person that you have privilege to it. In that case, the person can sleep without being afraid whether other users are exploring the file. So we are treating all these things from security perspective. We need to understand there is a general user's perspective of doing things like this, but we are doing it to effect or implement security measure. I hope that is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we still have a couple of things that are still under Windows security feature. We have what we call the Hello. The window Hello is another technology that is used to secure our system. But before you can implement that window Hello, you have to use a laptop that have those inbuilt. When I say hello, I'm talking about all this laptop that can recognize someone's face. I believe you are aware that these days technology has grown beyond using thumbnail now to sign in, or fingerprint. Now somebody can use, so long your system have that configuration, we have system now that can recognize people's faces. All right, so that is the hello, that is the window hello. But if your laptop does not have the feature, you cannot do it. So I'm going to take it, I want to add it to this. I think with the few time I have, I can complete it. But should in case we are not able to implement it 100%, it will be because we don't have a system that meets the requirement. But let's see how it goes. So the next Windows security feature we want to look at is Windows Hello. Windows Hello. So how do we define Windows Hello? Windows Hello is a biometric authentication system that allows users to log in using fingerprint, facial recognition, or PIN instead of password. So that is to tell you that technology has what? Advanced. That is to tell you that there are these black hat hackers. They can easily break into password. When we get to the ethical hacking aspect, you are going to see the technology they use in scanning. They what we call even key logger that listen to the key for you to know how far these bad guys has gone. So we too, as the white hat hackers, we need to what? Advance alongside with them. In fact, it is expected that we outsmart them. We should be ahead of them so that they don't what? Outsmart us. So if we come to realize that they don't have scripts, they don't have technology that help them to easily break people's password, particularly people that do not know how to use strong password, people that don't know how to use strong password, they will just be breaking into their password. But now technology has advanced that, okay, since it's very easy for you guys to break people's password, let's see how you are going to break the people's faces. Because when you want to set it up, the system will ask you to place your face. It will take it as an input. So any other face that will be presented, if it doesn't align it with the previous top face, it's not going to go. So you can see that it's now a very strict security measure, which is far, far better than the era of passwords. That is Windows Hello. So let me take it again so that we can look at the step. Windows Hello is a biometric authentication system that allows users to log in using fingerprint, facial recognition, or PIN instead. Let's look at some of the steps. Remember what I said. If your system do not meet the requirement, you are not going to be able to set it up. But let's proceed just for us to understand the structure of the steps. So the first thing is for you to open your setting. Remember, you click on the start button and then you are going to see your setting icon. Just pardon me, the system is at least we have achieved something instead of postponing that I wanted to postpone it. So now, once you get to setting, now we are going to click on accounts. I hope you are writing down your step. Don't wait for the video. When you attend class like this, you jot down some steps, very important. So from setting, we are going to click on accounts. So let's hold on. This is going to be the last aspect for tonight. So from setting, you click on account. Now you can see account here. You click on account. So from account, you are going to see sign in option. Sign in option. Let's wait for it to open. I hope I've clicked. We are going to see sign in option. Right, so you are going to see sign in option. Sign in option. Now remember that when you are doing things like this, your account must be administrator. The next class, I'm going to focus on how we can use users' account as one of the security system. But just make sure that it is only the user with administrator account that can cause or that can make change or call changes. So you click on this, so you can see already telling you that it's a key. So once you click on this sign in option, then under it, we are going to see the hello feature we are talking about. So you can see it here. So once you have all the GT laptop, this HP laptop that have, the way you check the top, you will see them, all these white HP laptop. I believe you understand what I'm saying. Modern laptops now, they have this feature hardware, right? I believe you understand what I'm saying. You understand, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once you put your face, you see red lights blinking very close to where you have the webcam. Those are the kind of things I'm talking about. So you can see all these are security features that some of us do not exploit. And these things are built in for you and I. Like any company we are working for, we ensure all this, configuring the right one at the right time. We save that company from being attacked or hacked. So let's say I want to follow this one now. So under the hello, remember that this is the hello option now. So if I click on this hello option, let me know whether my laptop, what did you see? We could not find a camera what? Compatible with Windows Hello. But even you have a system that have that camera, you are true. Just click on this. Maybe it will ask you to program your face, right? So a practical example, how many of us, do I have anybody here who has once loaned money from OP or Money Point? If you have, you know they capture your face, have you?
With that loan, sometimes if you want to transfer your money, they will have to ask you to put your face.
Good. But I know that if you are loaning, they will surely want to capture you. So now what I'm saying now is that when your password, maybe they are trying to verify after you log in, they want to verify. You see that they will tell you, blink your eyes, you do your face like this. That is the technology that we are talking about. So which means that that app developer incorporated this hello what face security feature in that app as a way of ensuring the application security. Then you have the fingerprint. So if your system also have fingerprint, the laptop I'm using, I know that it's far from it. So for those of us that want to use Windows Hello PIN, you can see that my laptop is qualified for what? This particular one. So you will just click on add, and then it will ask you to enter your password. Then we have the security key. So which means that once you program this now, next time anybody want to open this system, he or she must be asked to enter this password. All right, but because most time we don't really value the resources we have in our system. You see a lot of persons, there are a lot of persons that do not even have password. They don't even have any user account that is passworded. So people just have access to their system. All right, so God that is saving us in this part of the world is that we don't even have some assets but there are individuals that have serious information that the hacker may want to target. But we have to train ourselves to make sure that we cultivate the habit of learning to secure things, because that is who we are. As we need to be proactive, we need to be sensitive to the environment, security-wise. The same thing to system. You have to put things in place. We have to put certain settings in place to make the system hard for the intruders. So you don't just fold your hand and then you say nobody can hack my system. When we get to ethical hacking, you are going to see that you will start being scared that nobody is even safe on the internet. When somebody can, even so long your system is on the internet, somebody can scan and get some details from your system, you'll be surprised. So, but even though when you put all the security settings in place within the window, when they try to launch those attack of scanning information that can be used to hack you from the outside, your security system will not be compromised. It will repair them. What they are going to be getting there is that what? None. So which means that this door, this way is no-go area. The person have what? Put security in place. All right. I hope we have done justice to BitLocker partitioning and Windows Hello World. I hope we are good, because that is where I don't want to go beyond this, because BitLocker.
I have.
Okay, go ahead.
This Windows Hello, I've set that on my system before,
Okay.
but I don't know. Does it mean like your own, you try using it didn't work? Does it mean that you can't put the security, like if you're opening your Windows now, does it mean that there won't be an entrance, like a password to the entrance?
No,
For
I will have to.
any.
No. You can see the option given to us. I can use the password option. What he's saying is that this particular one, this particular feature, the camera that I'm using now is not configured. It's not a security camera. Let me use that word. It's not a security camera. So system that allow this setting must be what? They have their camera have that security settings. So that is why they give you option, because you understand that one of them may not meet your system standards. So you adopt the other one.
Okay. Then there's this security key. It doesn't come with every system as well.
Yes. Most of this thing that you are saying now, they go with compatibility. So that is why they are here. They are like options. So you click on the one, anyone that work for you, they are self-explanatory. You saw the other one. Now when we click on the other one, just add your password, then click on add. That is all. So no long process after here.
Okay.
All right, so Mr. Joshua, I hope you are still with us. I hope everything is clear.
Joshua, the high priest.
I'm still here.
Okay, I hope everything is clear to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please, we are going to stop here. Make sure that before Wednesday, I believe what we have learned now, I think we are slow enough that except you just want to go through the video again, or perhaps you were not making your notes, you can go through the video and document it. All right, so thank you for joining. So see you on Wednesday by God's grace.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Good night.
Nice, everyone.